Here we go, live.
Gotta make him pay. Look at the way he cut the angle on that.
Mike wants some more. What it
The
is.
God of Wars of summoning him, getting Mike frustrated, and Mike able to still break loose with his head movement, miss shots, and make him pay. Classic.
Because I entertained the crowd. The crowd was happy with it.
Jake Paul finally met his match when he found himself face-to-face with Iron Mike Tyson in the ring. What did we all expect? The YouTuber gets in the ring with the baddest man on the planet in Iron Mike Tyson. This was the humbling of a lifetime, as Jake Paul was so petrified that he wouldn't even dare look Mike Tyson in the eyes in the ring. Mike Tyson launched forward with his peekaboo style, bobbing and weaving all of Jake Paul's sloppy punches as Mike got up close and unleashed a barrage of attacks.
Mike on top and bangs him in the left hook right away and falls towards Mike Tyson. Good instructions given by the ref in the early going. Mike gets it with the right hand. He was really there with a front right hand.
As the YouTuber swung, Mike Tyson caught Jake Paul with a flush right hand, putting him onto the canvas. Once he felt the blows from Tyson, he knew he was doomed and quit by accepting his fate and getting knocked the f*** out by the right hand of Tyson.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great night of sports and entertainment, courtesy of GES Boxing.
Okay, I'll come in the room after.
This nigga right here. Drive the gloves.
I called him
That's
that
what we
yesterday.
made for Roy, too.
I called him
We were
several
looking for
times
you. We
yesterday,
were looking
man.
for you. We working your glove.
Yeah.
For you.
The whole training camp.
You took it. I knew I hit you with a good shot. You took it. You took it.
I'm a game moving
Respect, hey, I respect that.
The clash between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, one of the most anticipated matchups in recent boxing history, turned into a brutal reminder of what separates a true legend from a celebrity-turned-fighter. Jake Paul, the controversial YouTube star with a 9-1 record built on hand-picked opponents, finally faced a test he couldn't pass when he stepped into the ring with Mike Tyson, a former heavyweight champion whose name is synonymous with power, fear, and greatness in the sport. The fight, held with 2-minute rounds and 14 Oz gloves, ended in a devastating first-round knockout, proving that while Paul might have been successful against older, retired, or inexperienced fighters, he was woefully unprepared to face a legend like Tyson. From the moment the fight was announced, it was clear that this would be a spectacle unlike any of Paul's previous bouts. The tale of the tape painted a picture of two fighters with very different backgrounds. At 27 years old, standing 6'1" and weighing 200 pounds, Paul seemed to have the physical advantage over the 58-year-old Tyson, who stood 5'10" and weighed 220 pounds. But boxing is about more than just height and weight. It's about experience, skill, and the ability to endure under pressure, all areas where Tyson held an overwhelming advantage. As the bell rang to start the fight, it became apparent that Paul was in over his head. Tyson, despite his age, moved with the same purpose and intensity that had made him a feared champion in his prime. His footwork was sharp, his head movement was quick, and his punches were precise and devastating. From the outset, Tyson applied relentless pressure, closing the distance on Paul and immediately going to work on the body. Paul, who had built his career on fighting overmatched opponents, was caught off guard by the ferocity of Tyson's attack. Tyson's strategy was clear. He would break Paul down with powerful body shots, forcing him to lower his guard and then go for the knockout. It was a tactic Tyson had used countless times in his career, and it worked to perfection in this fight. Paul, visibly uncomfortable under Tyson's assault, tried to use his jab to keep the older fighter at bay. But Tyson's head movement and ability to slip punches made it impossible for Paul to establish any kind of rhythm. Within the first minute, it was clear that Paul was in survival mode, clinging to Tyson in clinches and trying to buy time. The end came swiftly and brutally. After absorbing several punishing shots to the body, Paul attempted to throw a wild right hand, hoping to catch Tyson off guard. But Tyson, ever the master tactician, saw it coming. He dodged the punch, shifted his weight, and unleashed a devastating right hand of his own that connected flush with Paul's jaw. The impact was immediate. Paul crumpled to the canvas, unconscious before he even hit the ground. The referee didn't bother with a count. The fight was over. The knockout was not just a victory for Tyson, but a statement about the sport of boxing itself. For too long, many felt that the rise of social media influencers in the sport had turned boxing into a sideshow, where fame and spectacle mattered more than skill and dedication. Tyson's win was a reminder that boxing is not a game, and that true greatness in the ring cannot be faked. The way he dismantled Paul, a man 31 years his junior, highlighted the vast gulf in experience and ability between a seasoned professional and a novice who had bitten off more than he could chew. Paul's defeat was a humbling experience, not just for him, but for all those who had bought into the hype surrounding his boxing career. The loss exposed the limitations of his strategy of cherry-picking opponents and relying on his fame to drive interest in his fights. Against a real fighter like Tyson, Paul's lack of experience and skill was laid bare. The bravado and trash talk that had characterized his pre-fight persona seemed hollow in the face of such a decisive loss. Paul, who had entered the ring full of confidence, left it a beaten man, his dreams of boxing glory shattered by a single punch. For Tyson, this fight was a triumphant return to the ring. Despite being far removed from his prime, Tyson showed that he still possessed the power, skill, and ring IQ that had made him one of the most feared fighters in history. The victory was more than just another win for Tyson. It was a reaffirmation of his legacy, a reminder that even at 58, he was still capable of delivering a performance that would be remembered for years to come. The knockout of Paul, in particular, was a highlight reel moment that will be replayed and analyzed by boxing fans for generations. The fight also reignited discussions within the boxing community about the ethics of pairing older fighters against younger opponents, especially when those older fighters are legends of the sport. While Tyson's victory was celebrated by many, it also raised concerns about the potential dangers of such matchups. The power and skill Tyson displayed were undeniable, but there was also a sense of unease about what could have happened had the fight gone differently. For all his toughness, Tyson is still a 58-year-old man, and the risk of injury in a sport as brutal as boxing is always present. In the days following the fight, the impact of Tyson's victory was felt across the boxing world. For those who had grown disillusioned with the sport, tired of the endless parade of exhibition matches and celebrity bouts, Tyson's win was a breath of fresh air. It was a reminder of what boxing is supposed to be, a test of skill, endurance, and heart, where the best fighters rise to the top not because of their fame or following, but because of their ability in the ring. Tyson's performance was a throwback to an earlier era of boxing, one where the sport's greatest names were defined by their achievements between the ropes, not outside of them. For Jake Paul, the loss was a crossroads moment. He had built his career on the idea that he could transition from internet fame to boxing stardom, but Tyson's punch had shattered that illusion. Paul now faced a choice: continue to chase spectacle fights against carefully selected opponents, or step back and truly dedicate himself to improving as a boxer. The latter option would require a level of commitment and humility that Paul had yet to demonstrate, but it was the only path if he wanted to be taken seriously in the boxing world. The fight also had broader implications for the sport of boxing itself. As social media influencers continue to venture into the world of combat sports, Tyson's victory served as a stark reminder of the difference between entertainment and real competition. Boxing is not just about making money or generating views. It is a sport with a rich history and a set of values that have been built up over centuries. Tyson's win was a call to return to those values, to remember that the ring is a place where true fighters earn their place, not just another stage for internet celebrities to boost their brand. In the end, the fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson was about more than just two men stepping into the ring. It was a clash of generations, of ideals, and of approaches to the sport of boxing. Tyson's victory was a testament to the enduring power of experience and skill, a reminder that while the world may change, some things remain the same. In boxing, as in life, true greatness is earned, not given. And on that night, in that ring, Mike Tyson showed the world that he is, and always will be, one of the greatest fighters to ever lace up the gloves. The fight may have lasted only one round, but its impact will be felt for a lifetime.